Welcome back, guys. Reggie vs. Solace coming to you with a brand new video this week. And in this topic, the video will be discussing how to finish farming for Phase 2 World of Warcraft TBC Classic. Of course, we know that in the PTR, Phase 2 is testing out right now. It's been there for about a week, so that's giving us about 1 to 2 more weeks of actual Phase 1 content. I've been farming up, gearing up, and kind of getting some craftables ready to go for Phase 2. There's going to be a ton of craftable patterns that drop in SSC and TK respectively. So I'm going to give you guys 3 quick tips on what to stock up for, how to stock up, and what I'm doing for preparation for Phase 2 in TBC Classic. Let's get right into the video. And if you guys like it, please leave a like. If you dislike it, please leave a dislike. All of those things help out the YouTube algorithm. Of course, follow me on Twitch at Reggie vs. Solace on one word. Of course, free YouTube videos. Sub to the YouTube channel if you like it. Use your Amazon Prime on the Twitch channel. It's free every month. Let's get started. All right. So I'm going to first start talking about this here. Let's get to the World of Warcraft. And I want to talk about... First things first is to stock up your craftable materials because the prices will go up in Phase 2. So right now we're still in Phase 1. Everything is dropping in price, meaning by what I mean by everything is I'm a miner. So this works if you're a miner or if you're like a herbalist. Instead of the ores and bars that I have here, you want to be stocking up on your terracone, on your fellweed, mana thistle, things like that, so you can be able to craft those pots. Of course, with Phase 2, a lot of melee classes are going to be using those haste potions, which require 2 terracones and I think 1, it's another type of item, Ragvel I think it is, or something like that. So you want to be able to stock up on those. It's the perfect time to do that. What I do as far as my route, and remember with routes I'm meaning that you can establish a route to do herbing, or you can establish a route to do mining. Or if you're a big brain, you can be able to do both. Have one character that has mining and herbalism on it, so you can kind of maximize your time out there in the world. So what I'm doing now is I kind of did a metagame, as right now we're in the end of Phase 1 content, meaning you have Kara on farm, there's pugs for that, Mag and Gruul basically on farm also, and it's a good time to level your alts. In between that, with your main or your farming character, you can start gathering your materials for Phase 2. And so what I've been doing is saying, you know what, let me go ahead and get about 20 of each primal. So right now I'm still in the process of doing that, as I have 3 more fires to go and a few more primal shadows. I don't really use these a lot. So what I started out doing is, once we got the materials on farm, I started saying, all right, I know I'm going to need primal mites for the different craftable materials that go along with your primal vortex that's going to be dropping in from trash mobs in Tempest Keep and also Serpent Strine Cavern. So I was like, okay, cool. I need to start gathering up some primal mites to have them able to go. So what I did is I asked in my guild. So the first thing I wanted to do is start doing almost like a meta game, is seeing how many I can be able to get to the number of 20. So I wanted to make sure and get 20 of each and then be able to push past that. So what I did is I just asked my guildies, hey, look, do any alchemists have any primal mite CDs? And so what I would do is I would go to the elemental plateau, kill the mobs, gather up my primals that I needed. Of course, with the primal mites, you need a mana, primal earth, primal water, primal air, and primal fire. You need one of each of those, and of course a person with a primal mite cooldown available. So I would ask my guildies, a few of them had it in the mornings, and I would go and get the primal mite crafted. I did that for about 3 weeks, and I was able to come up with this amount. Of course, if you're I think a potion master or something like that, or alchemist master, sometimes you can get double procs. So that's what happened. It was one person that got 4 procs in a row. It was crazy. So I was able to get 40 primal mites. After that is when I started to say, cool, I have the primal mites that I want for Phase 2. And I started to let me just get a stack of each, just to have it ready to go. So I just started to, gather up a stack of each. Of course, primal earths, if you're a miner, you get these easy. So that was the easiest to get. These are less than a gold. for one on my server. It's probably less on bigger servers also. For me, like I said, I'm a warrior. You know, I have all warriors. Primal water is probably the hardest to get, along with primal mana. So I just bought those off the auction house and said, let me just get a stack of those ready to go. I did not farm these at all. I purchased them from a guildie. Shout out to Big Maxilla for the primal waters. And I think he's a what's that thing called? The engineer. So he has the goggles. He can get those from the clouds. I don't have that, so I was able to buy these cheap, and then I just bought the primal manas. Same thing with primal life. Just bought those off the auction house. These are second cheapest on my server compared to primal earth. And then I farmed out the primal airs. You get primal fires from mining and also farming them out in elemental plateau, but you get these for free if you do mining in Hellfire Peninsula. You do the fell iron ores, and sometimes you get some primal fires with it too, so it works out. Yeah, at least you get the motes, and then you can turn those into the fires. All right, and then of course Primal Shadow I have at level 64, just parked over there in Hellfire Peninsula, and I just level him by killing the Void Walkers over there, and whatever primal motes of shadow he gets turns him into primals, and I send him over to my main character, and I have him here. So that's kind of a way I'm doing it, as far as just getting a stack of primals ready to go for phase 2. The next thing too is if you're a miner, I do routes 2 times a day for the coriums, adamantiums, fell irons, fell steel, hardened adamanti bar, and anturnium bars. For those ores, here's the route I try to take. So I'm going to go here. First thing I do is if I'm in Shadow City, so if I'm in the city here, let me go back to that. What I would do is kind of take off to go to this area right here. It is the first area I visit. Sometimes there is adamantite ores or nodes above, and also in the cave below this. There's a cave below it that you access from Zangomarsh. Sometimes I go in there, but most of the time it's too much out of the way. But I do get some coriums, a lot of adamantite up here, and then I will fly into Nagrind. All right. So the big thing is getting into Nagrind, if I can click on it. And there's 3 nodes that I get to when I go into Nagrind. So what I do is you're kind of flying down from this area, from Shadow City. I go above the Aldor questing area or Aldor area, and I fly this route. So there's a route here that I'm following. I come down here, I go to this cave. You can fly directly over the cave, and most of the time in the morning, between 8 and 10 in the morning, that's for me when I log into work, because I work from home, I could be able to see I say 1 to 3 nodes within the cave. If there's any nodes in the cave, I go in there, kill the Orgors, get those, fly back out, fly over here to the Ring of Trials to get these nodes, fly over here, and then I fly to this second cave. If you fly directly above the ground or a little bit above it, you can be able to see on your mini map if there's any nodes in the cave. If there's any nodes in the cave, I go and get those. Then I fly over here and do this pattern here, flying above the east side of Hala. I go up to this 3rd cave. There's always 2 to 3 nodes in this cave here. Sometimes you get a corium in there, which is great. I fly over here, then I exit out the cave, and I fly down to Sunspring Post. And I fly over the water here. This is a good spot, like right there on the coast of Sunspring Post. There's sometimes you get greeted with a corium there, and then when you fly over here, one out of these 5 water nodes can be an adamantium bar or an adamantium bar. So you just go and get those real quick, and boom. And then I kind of circle over here and go to Warmaw Hill. Sometimes you find some nodes here also. So that's what I do in Nagrind. I farm most of my adamantium there, and get those. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So I go to Nagrind, get those. I would hearth back to Shat, and then I would come over here. Sometimes I would do this route, fly down here over Turum, and come down here to Bone Chur Ruins. Skedis always has nodes because there's no mobs there yet. Those mobs will be coming in there probably phase 2 or phase 3. But then I fly down to Skedis, get those. Sometimes there's a rich deposit up there. And the next place I go is Hellfire Peninsula. As you can see here, this is the most spot that I'll be able to get from Gathermate. And I kind of fly up here through the ridge here, Thorn Ridge. I collect these nodes here. Then I fly over here to Falcon Watch. This Falcon Watch area, tons of nodes, especially if you get them in the morning time. Sometimes you're greeted with a corium before people start questing. So I will come over here, get this information over here with Falcon Watch, kind of gather up those nodes. I will come over here to this area with those roaming giants. Sometimes you get those. Then I will fly back over to Hellfire Citadel, get these, and then I will come down here to Zethgor, and I would end my Hellfire flight over here at the Void Ridge. And sometimes there's nodes over here in Void Ridge. Most of the time that will net me between 20 and 40 ores and maybe 5 to 10 fires or core or motes of fire. So that's what I would do. I don't spend too much time in Netherstorm. If you do go to Netherstorm, you do have a good chance of finding corium. So if you're solely searching for corium, this is a good place. It is a mixed territory, meaning it has atom ores, it has fel ores, and sometimes you can get it with some corium also. I stay away pretty much from Shadow Moon Valley. The majority of the nodes here are in the Death Forge, and to me, it's a waste of time going in there to be able to get those nodes. So I kind of stay away from that place. The main three places I go is this is number 1, Nagrand. Number 2, Hellfire Peninsula for the Fel Irons. There's less people questing, at least on my server also, so more chance for you to find nodes there. And then I kind of end it here in Terracar Forest. Don't really go into Shadow Moon. If you guys are questing in Netherstorm or Shadow Moon, leave a comment in the chat below of where you kind of go, like the area that you go. Is it Illidari Point? Legion Hold does have some nodes, things like that, so I can kind of revamp my pace and give it a test out for myself. Just leave those comments in the description, in the comment section below. That'll help us out. All right, so that's kind of my guide there. The first part is stocking up on your craftable materials. I did talk about the second also, which is the primals and the motes. Just get a stack of these. It's going to be able to help you out. Along with the second step is this. So for example, you're going to have items like this here. And this is the plans of Red Belt of Battle. This drops here. Lady Vosh drops it, Kelthea Sunstrider, and TK drops it. Some of the bosses drop it also, or at least have a chance to drop it. This is going to be melee DPS, Plate Wearer's Bis. So this will replace your Girdle of the Endless Pit that you get in Magtheridon's Lair. This is going to be the direct upgrade to that. It's a craftable item, meaning your blacksmith will equip it in guild, and then the few melee or DPS that still are waiting will be able to get this thing crafted. The craftable materials are 2 nether vortexes. Once again, those are the new craftable material that drops from Trash in TK and SSC. So you're going to need 2 of those. You're going to need 5 hardened adamantite bars, and then 10 primal fires. So you see here, really the mats that you can start farming now and prep for it is your 5 adamantite bars. That's 50 regular bars, by the way, because it takes 10 adamantite bars to equal 1 hardened adamantite bar. So you need 50 of those bars and then 10 primal fires, which is again 50 motes of fire. So you're going to need, actually no, sorry, I take that back. It's going to be 100 motes of fire. So what you're going to need is hardened adamantite bars and 10 primal fires, right? So start getting those materials together. So, you know, if it drops week 1 or week 2, you could be able to have the mats. All right. And it's going to be tons of these different patterns for leatherworking, for clothies, for tailoring, and of course for your plate wearers. I'm guessing also Ret DPS is going to be using this also for your pallies. So just, you know, keep that in mind. You're going to be needing that. So once again, you come here and you're seeing that I've already have the materials for multiple belts. So you're gonna just take 5 of these hardened adamantite bars, and then of course your primal fires, and boom, I'll have that belt as long as I get the primal vortexes day 1 or week 1 or week 2, whenever we get enough materials for it, and of course the pattern drops. So I just take that in mind. So I did a mini game for myself saying, hey, let me get 80 of these Felsteel bars, Eternium bars. I have these ready to go for if I need any more fell steel bars, of course, because I have the fell steel and I have the turning bars to create the fell steel if I need to. Of course, primal mites, I might get more of these. Since they're on a 1-day cooldown, it was like a 3 or 4-day cooldown before Blizzard made the change. So having those materials ready is going to help you out tremendously in gearing up. All right. All right, so let's talk about the third thing. That was the second thing, is getting your moats and your primals ready to go. Consult your guildie if you need those moats. They'll have those ready to go. You never know who's selling those for the cheap. All right, so the third thing is auction house price flipping. I don't want this video to be too long, but it's going to at least be 19 to 20 minutes. The third thing I want to talk about is your auction house price flipping. So you always want to play the auction house, gearing up for phase 2. The reason why I say that is materials that are cheap now are going to go up in price. For example, let's see like my auctions that I have available right now. Let's see, what do we want to look at? Oh yeah, the ores. The ores. So ores are going to go up dramatically in price. It was a hunter in my guild that let me know that hunters are in phase 2 are going to be able to make their arrows from adamantite ores. So right now ores, let's say, what are adamantite ores? Let's check out what the price is for those. Let's check out what the price is for the adamantite ores. All right, there is 2,300 ores available for a gold and 34 silver, basically, for a stack. Yeah, because you have 23 stacks, basically 26 gold per stack, right? That price is going to go up to maybe 2 to 3 gold per, because on different servers, and this may be cheap for my server. I'm on a small server, a role-playing PvP realm. It may be 2 to 3 gold on Herod or Farolina or things like that, White Main, the West Coast servers out there. So it may be even more expensive right now on your server, but this price will definitely go up because hunters are going to be using those ores on demand. So the ores are used for jewel crafting, they're used for mining. Of course, the ores make bars that are made for used for blacksmithing and engineering. So this ore is going to be in high demand from now until the end of classic TBC. So you definitely want to play the auction house. If you have a few of these, keep them ready to go for when phase 2 launches. The price goes up, and now you're getting some more bang for your buck. Also, what you want to do in the auction house too is always just do a quick search of epic items. You always want to do a quick search of epic items. This dropped for me yesterday. I have it on the auction house. Leggings of Beast Mastery dropped for me. I was doing some farming over there in the Elemental Plateau. Boom, this dropped. I don't know if it's really, I think it's okay for hunters. I think there's better blues out there as far as a 4-piece set. But it did drop for me. Hey, we're going to see how much you can go for. Same thing with the Chest Guard of Exile, and I made this Gauntlets of the Iron Tower. No one really wants this. It's kind of weird stats on it. But what you want to do is always search through this, because you never know if there's a good deal, for example. So there was a Blink Strike there, fairly for cheap. I felt I could sell it for double, and boom, I was able to buy it for one price and sell it for double that price the next day. Simple like that. So you can be able to flip different items. Same thing with like this rifle here. Someone could have bought it for a few gold or found it, and then boom, you can go out and flip it on the auction house. So you want to, especially for BOEs in phase 1, they are very good. The epics, you want to be able to sell those now, because of course the later in the phases there's going to be better gear that's dropping in raids. So you want to be able to sell, liquidate your items now, flip things, flip your gems. As you guys can see, there's gems that I have. I'm always trying to flip those. Selling your mats. I love getting these little crystal things. So yeah, that's the next thing you want to do is kind of flip things on the auction house. Buy low, sell high is always the way to go as far as getting your gold up for phase 2. So that's the video there, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, let me get back to this screen here. Boop, talking screen. There we go. All right. So those are 3 tips. Once again, I'll put them on the screen here. Is you want to stock up on your craftable items so you can be able to make those. TBC is big on getting your professions up so you can be able to make your items. You're also going to be able to get upgrade your Dragon Maw I think those are like 2 vortexes or 5 vortexes you're gonna need for those. So you're always upgrading your line champions, your deep thunders, things like that. You're gonna be upgrading those. So stock up on craftable materials so you can have the gear and the materials ready to go if your guild gets one of those high-priced patterns to drop from TK and SSC. The second thing is your primals and motes. Those are going to be used for various crafts, not just crafting gear, but also in enchants and jewel crafting and things like that. So you want to stock up on your primals and motes. Those prices are going to go way up. So you want to be able to get them cheap now at the end of a phase, and then trying to double back and get them at the beginning of a phase. All right. The third thing is price flipping. You always want to play the auction house because you can be able to double and sometimes triple your profits by doing so. Buy cheap materials low. I'm always searching here for like a primal or a mite or a node, things like that, and then be able to sell them at a later date for a higher price. So let me know what you guys think. It's Reggie vs. Solace coming to you with a video about 3 different ways to start farming for phase 2. I will check you guys next time. Please leave a like or a dislike and follow me on twitch.tv, Reggie vs. Solace, YouTube, Reggie vs. Solace for new content. Leave a sub on the YouTube channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Be amazing.